Don't do it this afternoon. But Christ is saying, do it now. And when you saw, Raymond, can you come up just a few minutes? When you saw Raymond standing last night, I gave God thanks. I said I was not gonna cry. This is my best friend. Raina is my best friend. Where's Raina? Can you just stand up? Is she here? That's my daughter, Raina. That's my friend too. God bless you. I remember being rejected. You could sit down. I don't like to sit down. Yeah. Being rejected by my mother. I was 15 days old when my real biological mother decided that I was not a part of her family because of the color of my skin. All her other kids at that time, they were Spanish looking and probably more beautiful. And it was two other girls. It was my sister and I, and we were dark skin, and something happened and she decided to abandon us and took her 3 Spanish kids with her. And at 15 days being rejected, I grew up knowing this, and I said, well, if I was rejected by my own mother, I expect that you would reject me too. So I grew up in an environment where I know that I am ugly. I will never amount to anything. You will never be anything in life. These were words that were told to me. So growing up, when you come to me and said, like a young lady came up one day to me and she said, you know how terrible you look with those teeth? I said, yes, I know, I'm ugly. So what? So it was not hard again for you to tell me I am ugly because I had already told myself I am ugly. So even though now you would come and tell me I'm beautiful, I would never believe you. I wouldn't accept that I'm beautiful because I was told by my father's people that I'm ugly, I worth nothing, I would never become anything in life. Even one of my uncle told me, he said, I'm not sure if you came out of your mother, so I can have sex with you. I can use you. And let me be the one to have sex with you, to prepare you for the outer world. So that was who Sarah came, the environment Sarah came from. And I had a sister that was loving and wonderful. She was older than me. At this time now, I'm, let's say, 15, and she's 17. And we had a great-grandmother, Sarah. I was born on her birthday. She was the midwife of the community, and my name, well, Dad said name is Sarah because I born on her birthday. And she was the one that introduced Christ to me. So let's go back to age 5. While she's attending to the women in the community, they would line up on her veranda, and there I would be preaching to these women at age 5. And she said, you know, you will one day be a great leader. She was the only one that would find some fire in me. But everyone else in that family, starting from my mother's side to my dad's side, so I'm not only condemning my mother's side or bringing down her side, both sides, they never found any fire. They were always the people that out the fire in Sarah. So I made up my mind that I need to start to light or find my own fire. But it wasn't easy because I was always constantly shut down. But one day, Grandma died. At age 16, Grandma died. I just thought my world ended. Everything crashed then for me. Everything in my life is gone. And I looked at that woman and I asked that dead body, what will become of me now that you, my only hope, is gone. And of course, she couldn't answer because she's dead. I had to make a choice that day. Will I become a prostitute into the hands of my uncle and other men? Or will I become somebody and show these people that I can be someone, I can kill their words and bring life and show them that I can make it despite what they have done. So I had a choice at age 16 on my own to make. And I decided I'm going to sign up at the nearest high school because I never had the opportunity to go, and I always wanted to follow grandma and be a midwife too. And I signed up at school. I started off at Eden High School, and after the abuse in the family, I ran away from Santa Elena to live down here in Belmopan, signed up to comprehensive school, started to look for job, and I told everybody, I told Mr. Price at comprehensive, look, I don't have any parents. I don't have no one to stand. I'll be my own woman here. I'll pay my bills, I'll sweep the yard, I'll clean, I'll do anything, just take me into your school. Mr. Price said, I like you. I'm gonna be your dad, and all these teachers are going to be your parents. And he introduced me to the class. I felt good because I thought that, you know what, I am the boss. And some of the teachers started to mold my life. And I remember looking at one of the teachers and said, that man is very handsome. And that man was very nice to me, treated me very good. Anywhere I want to go, he take me, drive me around. Remember, Mr. Price gave them that right that they're my parents too, or my big brother. But we started to get more closer to each other. And that man and I started a relationship behind the school back. So now I decide, this is getting very far. So I asked the question, are you married? He said, no, ma'am. Do you love me? Oh, yes. And I felt what I was searching for was love. I was hungry for someone to love me. And he cunningly, craftily, in the sweetest way, in a subtle way, presented what I thought was love. And of course, I got pregnant at age 19. I was very embarrassed. By then I had already finished school too. I graduated, I did well. The school gave me a ring because I was very bright from primary school. I compete very well. I came in first, but nobody found my fire into school. I was a bright child. But I end up, before the relationship, I was a gang member. I looked for love in the gang. Nobody in here, I think, could shoot better than me. I had the best gun, better than the police force. I could hold a knife up to now from here. And where our brother, what's our brother name that testified about his migraine? Mike. What's your name? Mike? Where Mike is, if he stand and I said I'm gonna aim for his chest, I can surely stick it. I practiced every wicked thing you think about, except I didn't like weed, because when weed was passed to me, I was always greedy like Anika. And I saw my friend, when they smoke weed, they laugh and laugh and laugh. The other one eat out the grandmother food. The other one, all the symptoms they did, I didn't like, so I never tried weed. Alcohol, yes. I drink with men because I said ladies drink soft drinks and little alcohol. I drink strong drink, tequila, you name them, Sarah drank it. So I found myself looking for love in all the wrong places. The gang member, to me, they had my back. They defended me. When my dad didn't defend me, my mom didn't defend me, they defended me. So I was getting loved. But God had a plan for Sarah's life. And He kept me. On my 18th birthday, I was in my bed. I already said that's the day and nobody will come and wish me anything. And some friends came over and said, come Sarah, come, we have something for you. Just let's go. I got ready. And when I stepped to the door, I used to dress like a man. I told you it's my gang friends. I had my pants, I wear brief. I didn't wear underclothes for women because I thought I was like the guys. So I act like a guy. I never wear girls' clothes. I didn't have a lesbian spirit, but I thought I was a man. I chop firewood. I do anything a man could do. I did it. I can do it. So there I was stepping into this place. It was a private bar they rented for my birthday to treat me. But a guy went inside ahead of me to drink and they told him, come out, this is a private night, it's a special night. And something I just caught my attention. I said, whoa, my tennis shoelace is loose. So I bent down and I started tying my lace in, and I heard a voice. It was right close by the door. I heard a voice saying, since you guys don't want me here, and now I'm stepping into the bar. I shook the door. Well, hold this, with some adjectives behind. So it was a machete, and he chopped the guy that told him to come out, and the end of that machete caught me. If you look very well in my head, I have a big scar. I felt something very hot. It wasn't hurt at first. A big chop in my head all the way. I held this and it lifted up in my hand. And blood started gushing out and people running away from me. But I was a tough person. I chewed my cheek where I'm saying the bad words. I got hurt and if I got hurt. That's all I'm saying with this big chop in my head. And I'm still bouncing around and people running. And a white guy, Bruce, I remember, came with about 60 little small towels and cut them and bound upon hospital. When I reached there, I just remember policemen around me saying, this little fella is bad, she's in the gangs. I had my collar rag and I think they took my knife, everything. But cutting all that short to tell you that I've been in everything you believe that there was to try to find love. A gang offer their members what they think is love. A man offer you what you think is love, or a woman offer you what you think is love. So going back to this man after I've graduated, the relationship continued. The school up to this day on my part didn't know about that relationship, and it was enticing. The Bible said that sin, when it is enticed, and I feed it, nobody forced me. So I'm not here telling you that, oh, I was so innocent and I was so used, and I actually fed the relationship. I was in it. But what I didn't know is what this guy was married. Had a beautiful wife and children. But he never wore his ring when he's around me. And he never seems like he had anybody, because every time I say, let's hang out, he had the time. So I could never believe it. But getting pregnant, when I told him that I was pregnant, he said, well, I didn't really tell you from the beginning that I'm married, and he break me up, man. I mean, break up. That was the day I hauled my gun. But for some reason, the more I clicked that gun, and I kept hauling that trigger to pour every 7 bullets inside his chest, that gun would not go off. And it was fully loaded. And I held that trigger. Even when he turned his back, I tried again, and clicks. And I want to emptied it, and those days the words that came out of Sarah was nothing nice. And that gun refused to move. After that individual walked away, I hold that gun up in the air. Pow, 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 easy. Every bullet released. God had a plan for me. God had a plan for my life. My grandmother had already spoken it over me. She said she was the only one that fanned the fire and said, you will be somebody. That was her words before she died. And I am a living testimony of that verse that says, train up a child in the way she should grow. When she's old, she will not depart from it. And I knew the word. She did her part. She taught us well. She taught me the word, but I strayed from what she was training me into. But that seed had already planted, Joyce, wherever Joyce is, the seed that you have in your pocket, it did not remain in the pocket. She planted it. And when he said to me, I'm sorry, you got to see what you will do with that. So that our pregnancy, our babies have name. What you will do with that. So he gave me money. It was easy. He's a teacher. He has money. He's, apart from being a teacher, he can draw up all the plans and make money, big money. He had it all. He said, take this $500 and go over to Guatemala. It was done. Up to now, it's done. It's easy to take away a child in Guatemala. I'm telling you. Easy. Some of our doctors in Belize, I give them hats off. You know what they do to our ladies now? They tell them, I'm helping you with these pills. It's something just to boost up your baby. But Guatemala doesn't do that. They will help you get it out. And I remember stepping towards the place where this doctor is. And I heard my grandmother's voice plain as day. Sarah, if you would ever get pregnant, you had that woman in you to open your legs and do it, so you will be woman enough to bring forth that child no matter how old you are. Never abort a child. And I heard that word played back clear as day as I was making my way, because I crossed the border. And when that came about, I smiled and I looked up into the sky. I said, Grandma, you are very wicked. And I started to talk to Grandma, stepping back away from the abortion area. And I looked around, and the first place I saw every little cutest clothes for a baby hanging there. And I stepped over, and I tell you, those people were happy because I spent that money out on baby clothes. I said, that they said to take away, I am not going to do it. And I started to rub my belly. I said, whoever you are, I will get to know you soon. I taught him every day in my belly. I read to him. I preached to him. I prophesied over his life. It came true. Amen. That this, that.
That.
Stand up. Is what the fire.
Hallelujah.
Is the fire that the devil wanted to quench. This is the fire that the devil wanted to out, because he saw from the beginning, if this come out, the trouble he will make to my plants. He will scatter my camp. He will mess up what I have. So he decided, I'm gonna deal with that. But glory to God for the seed that was planted. God has made us victors.
Amen.
We are able to stand despite whatever. All you young ladies here, I don't know what you're going through. I don't know what you've been through. I don't know the level you are today. But I want to speak into your lives this afternoon. I want you to know that if you have ever been rejected, you're accepted by God. He loves you. He cares for you. Even when you are going through something, God is standing by. God is with you. God said, I will never leave you. He never left me. Despite I was in the gun, He covered me. Despite I was beating on someone, He held on to me. Come on, young ladies. You could never go through so much that this God, there is nothing that is too difficult for this God to do for you. There is nothing that is too hard that this God cannot help you out in. There is no line that God cannot help you to cross. There is no wall that has been built up that God cannot tear down. There is nothing that is impossible with God.
Hallelujah.
I am a testimony today. And you can be tomorrow's testimony. I am getting old. I told you from this camp begin. I'm 40 years old. I feel 19. But I must know my identity that I am 40 years old. So I pass the baton onto you. I am passing it onto you today to say, children of God, fan the fire and raise up. Go light your world. Go light your school. Go light your environment. Do not allow anyone to bring you down. You are rejected by your mother, no problem. You are rejected by your father, no problem. You just stand your ground. I want to encourage you young men out here. If you don't have anything good to offer, if Christ is not in your life, stop fooling our daughters. Speak the truth. The only thing that will help you young men to be a good husband, to be a good partner, to be a good friend is the Spirit of God in you that will not hurt the future generation. How many men today are running from their responsibility? How many men today find it so easy to pay for the baby to be destroyed? But you young men must raise up. You must be different. You must tell the world, I will make a difference. How many fathers are in jail? What are they doing? How many fathers have abandoned the mother today? I know of many, but you must not be one. You are here today for a purpose, and your purpose must be accomplished. God says that He has a plan for you, and it is you, the men, that are supposed to be leading our homes. It is you, the men, that are supposed to rise up and let the children know that this is the head of the home. As Christ is governing us, I will lead you. You must be the future leaders in this community. You must be the future leaders in wherever you are from. So I want to encourage you today that that person that they said would never be nothing. Today I stand holding a bachelor's degree in nursing.
Amen.
Today I own a restaurant, DMS Kitchen, alongside my sister.
Amen.
Today I am proud. I never throw away my kids. I have beautiful Raina, handsome Raymond, and Raiden at home.
Come on.
I have a husband that decided he loved me with 2 children. I had already have Raina and Raiden, and married to me. We are living for 18 years. So I am somebody. I became somebody. Hear who I am. I am a daughter of a king. I am royalty. When you look at me and you say I am ugly, I want to tell you today, I am beautiful. I want you The community will tell you. Your friends gonna tell you, but you must know who you are, that when they tell you, you can say, I know who I am.
I do, yes.
That's your problem if you see me ugly. If you see my teeth ugly, that's your business. I see me. When you want to see what Christ look like, look at me.
Amen.
He lives in me.
Amen.
I have a new identity.
Amen.
I no longer can worry if my mother don't love me, but I want to tell you that part. When I accepted Christ, we went to get to know our mother, and we have a good relationship. I know my mom, and it's all good. I've forgiven my mom. I love my family from my dad's side, my mom's side. The community wants to know, how can I be at my uncle's house that would molest me today? I can go there, hug him, call him uncle, and if he needs money, I can give him, because it's not about I. It's no longer Sarah that lives, but Christ that lives in me. Allow me to love the people that have done me wrong. So if I could do it, you can. Look at the person beside you and say, if I could have done it, you can too. Not by your might, not by your own strength, but through the Spirit of God. So high five me and say, fan the flame, fan the flame. God bless you, and I love you.
Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Hallelujah. I'll just shut up and let God work. Oh, hallelujah.